Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. Time for the Premier League fixtures release. Time for the Premier League fixtures release. Always a fun time to find out which teams you're going to play. Obviously, we know every team that you're going to play, but in what order and what our schedule is, that is what you're going to find out today. As per usual, we are live for that one. So if you're watching on a different platform other than YouTube, the question is, do you usually prefer facing the harder teams first, or do you prefer facing the easier teams first, or you don't care at all? Like whether we start with Man City or we start with Ipswich, you do not care at all. You just want us to know, just play the games, just win. You don't care at all. So I've not gotten on Twitter or Facebook or TikTok at all because I know they're probably going to be some release that's some leaks in terms of fixtures. So I'm going to be reacting live as you guys are reacting as well to the fixtures that you're going to be playing very, very soon. So are you sure there's no sound, Stanislas? I'm pretty sure there's sound. Let me just confirm that. I should have confirmed that. Listen, this, let's see. Yeah, there is sound. This streams for early morning like this. It's not easy to do, but there is sound. There is sound. There is sound. So we are 5 minutes away from finding out which teams are going to play first. Thank you, Ray. Very fast in terms of the Premier League. Ray says play the harder fixture first and get rid. Let me just put that on the bigger screen. That's not visible. Awesome. Play the harder fixture first and get rid of the tension and cruise your way through the easier one. I'd maybe say that a couple of years ago, but right now, obviously, like facing, going up against Man City and trying to win the league and trying to get to 90 points. Yes, they're going to come up against everyone else, but I would prefer, like last season, was it last season? Yeah, I'd prefer like 4 or 5 mixed ones at the beginning. You know, a Crystal Palace away is not bad. A home fixture against Nottingham Forest and Burnley thrown in there is not bad. Just to get the momentum going, you know, you first try and win the first 4 games, and then on the 5th game or something like that, you can face a Tottenham or Man United or Man City, absolutely no problem. But in terms of the first game, I don't want us to face Man City away in the first game. You know, that would not be great. I don't think they usually put that in the fixture list. I don't think they'll ever be like that, like a Manu against Arsenal in the first day, like if they're going up against each other in the title race. I don't know how they usually do it. Maybe they usually put those particular fixtures away and then they draw the others just randomly on the computer and then they add in the others. I don't know how they do it, but yeah, it's very hard to find Arsenal against Man City on match day one, especially if you're fighting for the title against each other. Sahid says, good morning, Sahid. Good to have you on the show again. You're absolutely doing great things. Thank you. There's another live show coming up as usual, the Transfer Podcast 1 hour after this. So that will be live as per usual. EPL fixture is back. We believe this time Arsenal fans the most easier fixtures. Hopefully. Everyone is going to play the same teams, obviously. But in situations where, like, let's say December or something, where fixtures are so close to each other, you don't want to be facing, like for us, that last December. I don't think it's great facing like Aston Villa away and then 2 or 3 days later it's Liverpool away. That's harder, obviously, if you're playing, you know, Man City away today and then after 3 days you have Tottenham at home and then after 3 days it's I don't know, Newcastle away. You don't want it to be arranged that way. You want it to be spread out better in terms of the fixtures. So it's I guess you have to be lucky as well. I wanted our first match to be Manchester United. They're still yapping because of the FA. So I've just stayed away from the internet after they won that. I was away from the internet for like 2 or 3 weeks, so I don't hear what they have to say. It's good to face whichever one comes first. All teams must be played against you, right? So we should never press panic buttons. We should be concerned about the fitness level of our players and squad depth. Now, something that we've not done recently, 2 seasons ago when Jesus was new at Arsenal, he scored in the, I think, first or second game against Leicester. We won 5 games out of 5, and then the 6th game we lost to Man United. Last season, we won the first 2, and then we drew Tottenham and Fulham. So we picked up 2 wins and 2. Was it Tottenham or Fulham? Sorry, we beat Nottingham at home. We beat Crystal Palace away. I know we beat Man United in the 4th game at home. So that means it was Fulham in the 3rd game. So yeah, we won 3 games and drew 1 in the first 4 games last season. So what you're trying to do next season, you have to get a run going. That's what Liverpool did to beat Man City to the league title. You have to win a lot of games at the beginning. The time Liverpool beat Man City to the title just before COVID, I think Liverpool won 19 out of the first 20 games. which is just so crazy because they picked up momentum from the beginning. They had a couple of easier fixtures and it just kept going. That's what we'll need to do this time. We can't let Man City go ahead of us by 5 points or something by October or something like that. We have to be ahead the whole season, which is not going to be easy. But let's see. Good morning to you, Chrysel. Thank you. Kamara says, am I not seeing you on Facebook? It's definitely live on Facebook. There's 58 people watching on Facebook right now. Just search for Everything Arsenal TV on Facebook. It's on X as well and YouTube. Good morning, Johanna. The link is in the description on YouTube, the second link in terms of Facebook. Happy that ATH is staying. Absolutely buzzing. I'm so happy that Ten Hag is staying at Man United. They will make jokes right now and say, no, Ten Hag has won trophies, Arteta hasn't. I rather have Arteta than Ten Hag. We will see. Let's see. Let's see what will happen in the next 5 years. Please, no signing for Arsenal yet. So says America, not yet. It's not just Arsenal. There's a lot of teams that haven't signed anyone yet. It's still. We are only 3 days into the transfer window, by the way. Really buying Osimhen? Let's wait and see. Let's not focus on the transfer window in this one. The transfer video will be 1 hour after this one. At the end of the day, we'll face all of them. I prefer we face other fixtures before we start Champions League. You're right. So it is exactly top of the hours. So let me refresh this Arsenal site. I'm going to be reacting to the fixtures live, just as you guys have. I've not gotten any on Twitter or anything to look at the fixtures. I'm going to react live. Is it out yet? Let me see this. Ooh. Let's hope we have another home game, by the way, in the first game of the season. I usually prefer having a home game in the first game of the season. We have faced Nottingham Forest last season at home. The previous seasons, we had Fulham away from home. We had, I think it was Crystal Palace away from home. I prefer being at home in the first game as well, get some momentum going. As I wait for the fixtures to be updated on screen. I know that they're out by now. Let's see. Team. Come on, guys, give us the fixtures quickly. As we wait, let me take a few of your comments. Well, either Ipswich, Leicester, or Southampton will be there in the first 5. Let's see. Our transfer is slow, says Johanna. It isn't really. We are 3 days into the transfer window, though. We can't expect to sign 2 players in the first 2 transfer days. If it was July, at the end of July, then I would say that. I'm still confident you're going to get a couple of players before the preseason starts. Auth position is Osimhen, striker. Good morning, I'm from Liberia, says Walker. Wool says Hadzo. Let's see. I'm still trying to get the fixtures here on Arsenal, Arsenal's website. Okay, here we go. So let me share the screen. I'm going to be reacting live as you guys do as well. Let's see. Should I put it on this screen? Yeah, this is much better. So let's react live as let's see. Let's all react live to the fixtures. Ibanga says, good morning. Please tell Arteta and the board to make an early signing. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Arsenal 2024-2025 Premier League fixtures. Let us go. Let's see. Okay. August. Wolves at home. We have Wolves at home in August. Aston Villa. Okay, like those 3 teams first, those 3 teams are not very easy games to play. Wolves at home, Aston Villa away, Aston Villa. We meet again. Aston Villa, we meet again. Brighton, Aston Villa beat us home in the way last season. We need to make that correct. I don't think we faced Aston Villa away from home this early. We always face them at home. Away from home, this is incredible. So Wolves at home, Aston Villa away the next weekend, Brighton at home. Now, listen, again, just as I asked, which ones do you prefer? Easier fixtures first, harder fixtures first, or whichever? Now, I don't really include this in the easier fixtures. I don't think these are easier fixtures. It's not like facing Ipswich at home or Nottingham at home in the first game or anything like that. I also don't include them like in the Man City and Liverpool categories, but we already know Aston Villa beat us home and away last season. We beat both Brighton and Wolves at home. So I'm not worried about that. What do you guys think on the first three games of the season? Wolves at home, Aston Villa away, Brighton at home. I'm totally fine with that. No problem. Now, if you look at that and you're competing with Man City, you need to win all three of those games. You cannot draw even one of them. And Aston Villa, man, like they couldn't even give us a couple of months before we face Aston Villa. Let's get ready for them proper. So, yep, that is our first three fixtures of the season. August, at least it's a home game first. I'm happy with that. But our first away game this time is going to be Aston Villa. Listen, usually some of these teams are not up to speed within the first three games because I remember Aston Villa lost 5-1 to Newcastle last season in the first game. Maybe they'll not be up to speed at that time. So let's see how it goes. Let's go to September. Tottenham away. Oh, wow. Okay. So our first two away games are Aston Villa away and Tottenham away. Now, the funny thing with this, Tottenham away, we always play Tottenham at home first. I think it's happened like 9 times over the last 10 years. We always play Tottenham at home first. This is the first time we're playing Tottenham away first in a long, long time. They usually come to the Emirates first, and then we go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium like in February or March or something like that, April sometimes. There's a season even went there in May, and they beat us in terms of getting top 4. So Tottenham will be the first game in September. So this will be after the transfer window closes, and then I think there will be an international break there between 1st and 14th. So there will be an international break, and then we come back and play Tottenham. Now that is not an easy start. I don't think that's a clear-cut easy start. Last season we had Nottingham at home, Crystal Palace away, and then we had Fulham at home. That was an easier start than this one. This is definitely a tougher start. And then after Tottenham, oh my goodness. Wow. This fiction should stop being released this early in the morning. It can make you sick. It can ruin your day very, very quickly. So we do actually have Man City, Tottenham, Aston Villa as our first 3 away games. That is not easy, man. That's not easy. You have to get some momentum going, man. You have to get some momentum going. That's not easy, man. Aston Villa, Tottenham, and City. That September is looking terrible, Let's see. Leicester at home. Okay, so September, Tottenham away, Man City away, Leicester at home. Maybe I need to agree with you guys. We need to get the transfers done quickly. I'm not try it though. Tottenham, we won last season easily. Man City we drew, and Leicester we didn't play them last season. So what was our score against Tottenham? Tottenham was the game that we gave them the goals in the second half, right? So I mean, these 2 games in September, we didn't lose any of them. Brighton, I think we won as well with Wolves, 2-1, 2-1. Aston Villa one was the only one we lost. So out of these teams, I don't think it's bad. After Man City, you want a game at home, obviously, against like a Leicester and Ipswich, so that is great. But that is a tough September. That is such a tough September, man. Tottenham away, Man City away, Leicester at home. Jesus Christ, that's not easy. Surely October will be easier. Surely October will be easier. Let's see. Southampton at home in October. Bournemouth away, Liverpool at home. Listen, after playing Man City and Tottenham, playing Leicester at home, Southampton at home back to back, that is fair enough. And then Bournemouth away, that is a game we usually enjoy, especially the last 2 seasons. I think 3-0 and 4-0 or something. We've really enjoyed that fixture. And then Liverpool at home. These days I'm not worried about Liverpool at home that much. Let's hope they've not picked up the pace by then in terms of having the new manager and all. So October is not that bad. It's an easy one, but we haven't yet had a month where we are like just good fixture. So far, August is mixed. I'd say September, I'd say it's tough. Man City away, Tottenham away. October, Southampton at home, Liverpool, Bournemouth away, but Liverpool at home as well. So not the easiest, but at least we do have Southampton and Bournemouth there. I think there'll be another international break between Southampton and Bournemouth. Another international break there. So let's go to November. Let's see. Newcastle. Oh my goodness. What the hell? Listen, I know you're going to play every single team, but this back-to-back away games, Tottenham, Man City, back-to-back away games, Newcastle, Chelsea, back-to-back away games. Again, these are 2 fixtures that we didn't win last season. We lost to Newcastle and we drew with Chelsea, almost lost that game. November, Chelsea as well. We always play Chelsea in October or November. It's always there. We never play them like in December or January. This time, those fixtures against Newcastle away and Chelsea away. Newcastle is not an easy place to go, but that game we lost it so like by mistake. Like we shouldn't have lost that game against Newcastle away from home. It should have been a 0-0. Chelsea, we had a good comeback. Nottingham at home. No, but the other thing we need to know as well is the Champions League. When the Champions League comes out in the draw, let's hope it's an easier one, because if you go back here to I think the Champions League, this time there's more games, so I don't know how they're going to arrange it, but there's usually Champions League games in September somewhere here. So, oh God. I think between Tottenham and Man City, we'll have a Champions League game, if I'm not wrong, between 14th and 21st. So, hopefully the team that we're going to play in that Champions League that time, it's an easier game, because imagine you have Tottenham away, then Bayern Munich away, then Man City away in the same week. We don't really want that. So hopefully at that time, yeah, you definitely need a squad. You need a squad. That's why you can't say sell 9 players and buy 3 players. You definitely need a squad. And this time you want to go far in the Carabao Cup and all. So there will be a Champions League game there. I think there will be one between Southampton and Bournemouth. There could be one between Bournemouth and Liverpool. Newcastle, Chelsea, there will be a Champions League game there as well. So yeah, you need a squad. So November 4 games: Newcastle away, Chelsea away, Nottingham at home, West Ham away, West Ham, another team that ruined our season in December. So these fixtures last season, we won Nottingham, we won against West Ham, we drew against Chelsea, we lost against Newcastle. So that is November. Again, not completely easy. I've still not yet seen a completely easy month. So let's hope December is better, because up to this point, we've faced Chelsea, we've faced Liverpool, we've faced Man City, all of those teams. But I've not seen Man United. So will Man United be in December this time? Let's see. The first game in December, Man United. It will be on a midweek. Interesting. That game will be midweek. Fulham away, Everton at home, Crystal Palace away, Ipswich at home, Brentford away. Okay, this is not bad for Christmas period. Merry Christmas, Arsenal fans. This is not a bad period for Christmas. This is not bad. Man United at home, Fulham away, Everton at home, Crystal Palace away, Ipswich at home. This is not bad. Then Brentford away. That's not a bad time, because I remember last December it was Aston Villa away and Liverpool away, and then West Ham at home, and then we finished with Fulham away. At least this time there's no 31st of December game. That's a terrible day to have a game. But yeah, this is not bad. I'd say this is the easiest month we have so far. Brentford away, Ipswich at home, Crystal Palace away, Everton at home, Fulham away, and Man United at home. Man United at home is usually that's the easiest fixture, actually. From all those 6 teams, Man United at home is the easiest for us. That is a game that we usually win so easily. As long as it's not at Old Trafford, this is a game. This is the easiest game out of all those in December so far. So yeah, that's a good December. I'd say that's a good December. 3 home games, 3 away games, not bad at all. I'm happy that Fulham again in December though. This Fulham, they beat us in December last time. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. So let's see how it's going to go. But that is December so far. Which one do you think is the toughest month, and which one do you think is the easiest? So let's recap it before we go to January. Wolves, Aston Villa, and Brighton in August. 2 home games, 1 away game. September, tough. Tottenham away and Man City away following each other, and then Leicester at home, and then October, Southampton at home, Bournemouth away, Liverpool at home. November, Newcastle away, Chelsea away, Nottingham at home, West Ham away. Then December, 6 fixtures, very tough. There'll also be like a couple of Champions League games there. Man United at home, Fulham away, Everton at home, Crystal Palace away, Ipswich at home, and Brentford away. Not bad at all. If you look at all these fixtures, we beat Brentford last season, we beat Crystal Palace, we beat Everton, we beat Man United. Fulham was the only one that we lost. Let's go into January. January. When the FA Cup starts as well, we'll probably have a FA Cup fixture just before Tottenham, because Tottenham will be on the Tuesday. There'll be an FA Cup fixture there on the Saturday or something. So Brighton away, very early this time. You're going to be done with Brighton in January, away from home, and then Tottenham at home. Interesting. I think when you beat them 2-0 at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium 2 seasons ago, it was like end of January or something. Aston Villa at home, Wolves away. What's up with this Tottenham and Aston Villa and Wolves following each other every single time? But not the worst, but again, not the easiest January. That's not a very happy new year there. Brighton away, Tottenham at home, Aston Villa at home, Wolves away. Now, these days I'm very confident in Arsenal. And to win that league, you're going to have to pick up 92, 93 points. maybe even more. Man City can pick up more next season. So for us now, we need to stop looking at these fixtures like, oh my goodness, Tottenham at home. Nah, you should be looking at these teams like, yeah, Tottenham at home, yeah, we win. Aston Villa at home, we will see. Wolves away, that should be an easy win. This Aston Villa team, at least we're getting done with them earlier this time. You know, we don't have to wait until April for them to spoil our season again. So January again, not the easiest at all. So yeah, not easy. February. Man City. Wow. Man City again in February. Didn't we face them in when we played them at home 2 seasons ago? Was it like February or March or something like that? But Man City, the first game in February, and then there will be like another FA Cup game after that if we are through, and then Leicester away, and then West Ham at home, and then Nottingham away. Wow. So the Man City game, you have to beat Man City at least once. Maybe you don't have to. Yeah. I mean, if we beat Aston Villa, we beat Fulham, we'd still have won the league even without beating one. But we beat them at home. But you have to make sure Man City don't beat you. So if you draw 2 games and win all that, that's fine. But you have to make sure Man City don't beat you. It makes it easy if you can beat them in this home game. If you beat them home and away, well and good. You're probably going to win the Premier League title. But February, the first game, Man City. So it will be, wow, man. Brighton away, Tottenham at home, Aston Villa at home, Wolves away, Man City at home. Interesting. Those are 5 fixtures, not easy. Back to back to back. That is not easy at all. And then you could end up having a Liverpool in the FA Cup or something again. Leicester away from home, West Ham at home, and Nottingham away. That is in February. Another midweek game. So this one is not... Again, this is not too easy. Man City at home, obviously not easy. Leicester away, it's never really been easy. I think there's a time that Leicester beat us like 4 to 5 seasons away from home. It wasn't easy until we beat them the last couple of seasons before they were relegated. Not an easy month still. So far, December is our easiest month, and we still have like a Man United there. So not completely easy. Let's go to March. So the thing is, though, since we're finishing with Man City in February and Aston Villa in January and Tottenham in January, maybe we'll have an easier finish to the season, maybe an easier run in terms of the final season. Let's see. March. Okay, it's definitely not going to be in March. Man City away and Chelsea at home. 2 fixtures in March. Boom! They've given us Man United and Chelsea. They've told us you're only going to have 2 fixtures. You're going to relax. But we're going to give you Man United and Chelsea back to back again. Interesting. Old Trafford and then Emirates Stadium. Now, listen, we're not supposed to be worried, really. These 2 particular fixtures, we won both of them with clean sheets last season, so it shouldn't really be a worry. If we play to our potential and we sign a couple of players to this team, it shouldn't be a worry, but it's tough to know how good Man United will be next season or how Chelsea will be or how Liverpool will be. But that's not an easy match, so I'm expecting another FA Cup game there. Maybe even a Carabao Cup final just before Man United if you go all the way, and maybe another Champions League game if you're still there at that time. So again, not easy. But since now we've gone to March, we're all the way up to March, and we've played Man United, we've played Chelsea, we've played Tottenham, we've played Man City, we've played Aston Villa. Looks like we're going to have an easier finish to this season, which is great. If you're still first or second, and if you play Chelsea and you win that game, and you're still first or second, let's say first, and you're like 2 points ahead of Man City, you're like, okay, April and May is going to be easier, surely. We've played all those big teams. Let's see April. Fulham at home, Everton away, Ipswich at home. Yeah, that's a perfect April. We need to make sure we're in the title race by then. We need to, you see the same thing we did last season. We were winning all those games 6-0, 5-0, 6-0, 5-0. We need to be doing the same thing now for at that time. By April, if you're still fast, that will be huge because Fulham at home, Everton away, Brentford at home, Ipswich away, Crystal Palace at home. That is very good. Now that's a very good fixture list in terms of finishing the season. That's not bad at all. So April could be nice to us this time. April could be very nice to us this time. All those 5 games, you should win all of them. You can't draw even one of them. So at that time, it's never easy. You might find Everton battling relegation again. You might find Ipswich battling relegation. Those teams will be even more serious by then. But 3 home fixtures, 2 away games, and those 2 away games to Ipswich and Everton, that's not bad at all. So let's see, May. What is the finish to this season? Bournemouth at home, Liverpool away. Yeah, Liverpool away kind of skipped my mind. Why is Liverpool away so far? Newcastle at home, Southampton away. So not bad to have Liverpool within those last 10 fixtures, where you have Fulham, Brentford, Crystal Palace, Ipswich, Bournemouth, Southampton. It's not bad to have Liverpool there. If you don't have to win, you probably have to win at least 9 of those games. Obviously, we know competing with Man City, out of those 9 games, you can't lose. You have to win at least 8. Then maybe you can draw with Liverpool. But the home games, you basically have to win all of them. What Liverpool did when they beat Man City to the title in 2019, 2020, they pretty much won almost every single home game. I think, if I'm not wrong, I think they won every single home game without even one draw and one loss. I'll need to check that back. But the worst, I think maybe they dropped one game. But I'm pretty sure they won like 18 home games in like back to back to back to back. That's what you need to do this season as well. Any home game, you see Newcastle at home, that should be a win. You see Bournemouth at home, that should be a win. You see Tottenham at home, that should be a win. So our final game will be Southampton away. Southampton is another team over the last 3 years. It's really damaged us as well. They knocked us out of the FA Cup. They spoiled our season in that 3-3 2 seasons ago. Southampton is also a funny team. But Liverpool in May this time. Let's hope it could be a big game if we are fighting for the title and Liverpool are there as well, and we have them away from home in May. Man City will be really enjoying that game. They'll probably want a draw. So that is a fixture list, guys. Let's see. For me, I've said April looks like the easiest months. Fulham at home, Everton away, Brentford at home, Ipswich away, Crystal Palace at home. So let me know if you agree with that, or you think maybe May is the easier one, despite Liverpool being there. Or do you think just having 2 fixtures in Man United and Chelsea, that's the easiest? Probably not. February, obviously, wherever there's Man City, that's not an easy month. January, Tottenham, Aston Villa, not an easy month. December, not bad. I think for December, where there's a lot of fixtures, and I can see Ipswich will be on a Thursday for some reason, Boxing Day. Yeah, that's the reason. It's Boxing Day. So we're going to play Ipswich on a Thursday. So Man United, Fulham, Everton, Crystal Palace, Ipswich, Brentford, 6 fixtures in a month. I think that is okay. That is great. You don't want the 6 fixtures in a month to be Man City, Man United, Liverpool, Aston Villa, like back to back to back. No. December, when there's a lot of fixtures, you want it to be something like this. Everton, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Ipswich, that is fine. And to the end of the season, April and May, you want it to be like that. But the toughest, I think the toughest is going to be this October here, going to November, where we have Liverpool, Newcastle, Chelsea is not easy. But for me, September is probably the toughest. Tottenham away and Man City away. Leicester at home should be a win, but these 2 away games, it's tough. You don't want to have a situation where there's a time Man City last season, they won, I think, 1 game out of 6. They drew with Chelsea, they drew with Tottenham, they drew with Liverpool, they lost to Aston Villa, like they won only 1 game out of 6 or something like that between October and November. Now, you can't really afford to do that when you're competing with Man City. We can't go like 3 games without winning. You see the way we lose to West Ham, and then we lose to Fulham, and then before that we draw with Liverpool, and then you go 3 games without a win. We can't do that this time. The most you can go without winning is 1. You win, and then you draw 1, and then you get back to winning. And then if you lose 1 game, then you get back to winning. So you can't, like, for example, over here, you draw with Brighton and then you go and draw with Tottenham and then lose to Man City. That would be a disastrous 3 games. You don't want that. If you beat Brighton, you beat Tottenham, and then you draw with Man City, that's not bad at all. But we have to avoid losing to Man City again. We have to do that again. We have to make sure they don't beat us again like last season. So September is the toughest. But in terms of the first game of the season at home against Wolves, I don't mind it. Wolves are always a good team. They're always signing those Brazilians and Portuguese players. There's 180 of you watching on YouTube, Facebook, and X. I appreciate it. Let me read a couple of your comments. Let's see. Watching you from Mother Zambia says Golden, appreciate it. Sammy says Southampton has always been a problem to us. Yeah, for sure. For some reason. That's the one FA Cup I'm like, we shouldn't have lost that game. The others, when people say Arteta is throwing away fixtures and Arteta is throwing away, let me put it on the screen. What's the screen? Is it this one? Yeah. When people say we've been throwing away FA Cup and Carabao Cup, I don't necessarily agree. I'm not happy about losing to Brighton in the Carabao Cup, but Southampton in the FA Cup was the one that was bad. I know we've lost to Man City and Liverpool in the FA Cup. You can lose to those teams any day, but that Southampton one in the FA Cup was the bad one. Who starts the Premier League? Okay, I also need to check, but I'm not going to put it on screen. I also need to check the first weekend in terms of the Premier League, which teams will face each other. Newcastle and Palme FC says we got 4 points of Tottenham, and Man City then lost all 6 points to Aston Villa. That was a disaster. That was a disaster, honestly. Considering that the worst thing was the fact that we beat Tottenham away, we beat Man United away, teams that usually beat us, and then you didn't lose to Man City at all. They didn't even score a goal against us, and then you went and lost to Aston Villa. Now this time, we need to do what we did from January to May, but we also need to do what we did from January to May in August to December. I think next season, if you want to win that league title, you're going to have to win at least 30 games. That's a lot. That's a lot. So you're talking about 30 games, 30 wins, and we don't know how good Man City are going to be next season. So if they are as good as 2018, they can get to 100 points. If that happens, it's a disaster. But you'll need like 30 wins. Maybe you can afford, I think you can afford 3 losses and maybe 5 draws. That will take you to 95 points. That's still a lot, That's still a lot. So you can even take it down to 29 wins. 29 wins is how many points? Is that 87? I think 87, then 4 draws. I'm not sure about 91 points. I don't think 91 points will completely be enough. So I'd say 30 wins. You'll need 30 wins. And then out of the other 8 games, you'll know how to divide them. Hopefully it's more draws than losses. But you can only afford like 3 losses. You can't lose 5, 6 games and then you draw 6. Nah, you can't do that. You can afford 3 losses or something and 4 draws, but the rest you have to win. Cherry on top, Leicester at home, says Ray. Mason says, come next season, any team that comes the way for Arsenal. Wow. Mason has no respect for the other teams. Absolutely no respect for the other teams, which is great. We are Arsenal. We need to be beating all of them. For Wolves, if Arsenal can shut down Cunha and Hichang, then we can get 6 points from those 3 fixtures. We need to shut Villa our priority this time. Yeah, sure, Villa. That's the team that cost us the Premier League title, probably. Maybe not even Aston Villa, Fulham as well. We didn't even put Fulham last season. So those 2 teams. We still have enough time to start preparing ourselves to assess striker, midfield, and left back wing up, and left back winger backup for Saka. Yeah, I agree. Golden. Brighton defense is a bit topsy-turvy, so it is easier than Aston Villa. Yeah, Brighton is definitely an easier fixture than Aston Villa. It depends. The Aston Villa this time are in the Champions League, so might they be tired or something like that by the time we're playing them. Aston Villa away again. Just imagine you're playing Aston Villa away, like bang, first away game of the season. Here's Aston Villa. Like the football gods have given us Aston Villa. Like, listen, they cost you the title. Here's Aston Villa. Beat them at the beginning of the season. You have to be patient in the market because you have a lot of in terms of champions. Says Manzi, we are starting with Wolves at home. Says lovely. Read a couple more. I would prefer to start with the toughest fixtures, then end with the easier 20 games or one draw. I mean, it's tough. It's very tough to replicate what Liverpool did in 2020, but I don't think it's the end of the world. I think you can. If you pick up because in the first season where we were competing for the league, I think we only lost actually the last 2 seasons. We didn't really lose too early in the season. Last season, our first loss came against Newcastle in November or something. Yeah, we went 4 months without losing a game last season, and then we lost to Newcastle around November. The previous season, we won the first 5, and then we lost to Man United, and then I think we kept on winning and winning and winning and winning the next games after that. So we haven't been bad. I'd say maybe 16 wins out of those 20, maybe 17. That's what you need to do to beat Man City. How are you doing, Glenn? I'm doing okay. Nabs, you're welcome. Time to revenge Aston Villa, says Lewari. We need to do our transfer business sooner to have players fitting into the team. I'm sure we will do that. We always do that. The last 2 seasons we've done that. In terms of people saying Arteta doesn't want to do earlier transfers, that's not true because Arteta does not want to get players after preseason. He wants to get the players before preseason. I hate Aston Villa because they destroyed us last season, says Isaac. Do you want Vinicius as a Saka backup? I would take him 100%. Just give us Odegaard. No, thank you. If I tell us our transfer targets, not in this video. The transfer video is coming out live in the next 30 minutes. So this is just a fixture video, not a transfer video. Let's see Premier League fixtures the first week. So Man United are opening the season at home against Fulham. Ipswich are opening against Liverpool. Interesting. Arsenal against Wolves. Everton are playing against Brighton in the first week. There'll be Chelsea, Man City. Whew. Chelsea, Man City in the first week. Wow. Come on, Chelsea. I guess we have to now start supporting everyone against. No, we can't do this thing again. This thing of supporting teams against Man City doesn't work, man. It's a nightmare. Start supporting Tottenham against Man City. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Listen, I'm not going to be looking at Man City fixtures even. Let's just win our games. Forget about Man City. Leicester against Tottenham as well in the first game, first Monday of the season. West Ham, Aston Villa, Newcastle, Southampton, Everton, Brighton. Interesting. That's the first week. Nottingham, Bournemouth. But Man United will be kicking off the season with Fulham. They'll probably go to top of the table for a couple of days until we go top the next day. And then let's hope we don't leave there from that time. So not bad, not bad. So in terms of the bigger fixtures as we finish, we will be playing against Man City in September away from home first. And then we'll play against them in February. So we'll be done with Man City by February. We'll be done with Tottenham by January. We are playing away first and then home second. We'll be done with Aston Villa by January as well. Away first, home second as well. Man United and Chelsea, it will be in March, both of them. And then our toughest last fixture in terms of the last 10 games will be Liverpool away from home. But our first game against Liverpool will be in October. So not bad. September is the one that I'm looking at. I'm like, goodness. I don't think this is easy. Wolves, Aston Villa, Brighton, Tottenham, Man City. First 5 games. I don't think that's too easy. But listen, we beat most of these teams last season. In the previous season, we need to do it again. Let's just do that and win, and we try and win the Premier League title. That's what you need to do. Sincerely speaking, also to win the league next time, you have to go unbeaten. You can't go unbeaten. You have to be realistic. These top 6 teams will surely be prepared well. You could be right. The second part of that, you could be right. But again, we can say Chelsea have a new coach. They might not be too prepared. We can say that. My only worry is Man City, honestly. I did say last season, Man City is the only team that can finish ahead of us. I'm going to say the same thing this season. If the worst we can finish is second, because they really believe in this team and the signings they're going to make. And, even if you didn't buy a player at all, Odegaard is still there, Rice is still there, Saliba is still there, Gabriel is still there, and obviously we're going to buy players. So I'm hoping we can improve the team even more. If we get a wing, if we get a strike, if we get another midfielder, we can improve the team even more, and we can win the games. Unbeaten, you can't go unbeaten. Obviously, you can't go into the season expecting an unbeaten season. You'll be disappointed. You'll have to say at least 3 or 4 losses. That's the realistic one. So you have to say you're going to lose at least 4 games. 4 games, yeah, you have to expect a loss somewhere. You never know. Against Liverpool or Man City, you can lose 1 there, maybe even 2. Against a Newcastle away or Aston Villa away, you can end up losing 1 there as well. You'll probably lose 3-4 games. But Man City, how many games did Man City lose last season? They lost to Arsenal, they lost to Wolves, they lost to Aston Villa. Was that it? I think 3 games. So yeah, let's say 3 losses around there, 4 the most. If you can't win a game, don't lose. Just draw. You rather have a draw than a loss. Because if you had drawn a couple of games that you lost last season, you potentially beat Man City. So yeah, but yeah, you need to go into. I don't mind that mentality actually, Kawi. I don't mind that mentality. Going to this and expecting to win every single game, that probably will be better. You'd love to have Osimhen alongside Jesus. I don't want Jesus to go anywhere. He's going to give us something that we don't have, but to get Osimhen up there, that would be great. That would be absolutely great. And then you have Havertz there as well. You can bring on Jesus, who can play on the wing and all that. Because people are saying you can't sell Jesus and sell Vieira and sell Smith Rowe and sell Nketiah and sell all those 10 players. You're going to need players on the bench. And in terms of impact, Jesus, there's like 5, 6, 7 games that Jesus won us. Like the Nottingham away game, it was Jesus' quickness that won us that game. Getting a draw against Bayern Munich, it was Jesus coming off the bench and working for that assist by himself. The Sevilla away game, that game we won it because of Jesus. First half, second half, it was all Jesus. The goal, the assist, all Jesus. The clincher against Man United, Jesus. If you look at the There's another game in the Champions League against Lens. He was really good both home and away, despite us losing away from home. So Jesus has those moments against Luton, the opening goal when you kind of tight pitch and all. Jesus' quickness, we get the opening goal of that game. You can't depend on him every single day to be scoring your goals, but in terms of the trickery and all that, and the duels that Arteta allows, he's going to potentially help you in that. Good morning, now, cause for alarm, you're going to another inviting season, says Bukola. Let's hope so, man. Let's hope so. So the transfer podcast is coming out in the next 27 minutes, so make sure to check that one out. Let's find out who you're going to buy to make sure you're going to win these fixtures. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.